Well, Dallas police say they arrested a man accused of killing his manager.
21-year-old Marlon Lawrence is facing a murder charge tonight. Police say he shot and killed 42-year-old Billy Brightman at a tire shop off Camp Wisdom Road in the Redbird neighborhood of Dallas.
You ever hire somebody, train them, look out for them, and they turn around and take your life? That's exactly what happened to 42-year-old Billy Brightman. December 1st, 2025, in Oak Cliff, Dallas. His employee walked up behind him at the front counter and pulled the trigger. Twice. Let me tell you something, this one hits different. When the clock strikes midnight, the truth comes out. I'm 12 a.m. crime, and every single day I bring you real cases of domestic violence that turn deadly. The stories the system tried to bury, the victims who deserve justice. If you're about that raw, unfiltered truth, hit subscribe. New case drops every day at midnight. Don't sleep on justice. This is 12 a.m. crime. Billy Brightman, BJ to everybody who knew him. 42 years old, husband, father of two, a son who made his mama proud. For 25 years, Billy managed the rent-a-tire shop off Camp Wisdom Road in the Redbird neighborhood of Dallas. That tire shop wasn't just his job, it was his life. His mother, Cynthia Willis, she'll tell you straight up.
That's my firstborn.
A mama's boy. And she meant every word. Billy was the type of man who showed up every single day, rain or shine. He worked that front counter, managed that shop, and made sure everybody around him was straight. His friend James Luck knew him for 20 years, and he described Billy as motivated, selfless, a family man through and through. People loved BJ, like genuinely loved him. Cynthia said it herself.
I'm telling y'all, he got along with everybody. Everybody loved BJ, because he was just BJ.
No games, no drama, just a man who came to work, did his job, and made sure the people around him had what they needed. Thanksgiving 2025. Billy gathered his family together. They're all smiling, taking pictures, enjoying the moment. And Billy looks at them and says, "Y'all know how much this means to me." His mother remembers it clear as day. She was making memories, soaking it all in. But she didn't know. None of them knew. That would be the last Thanksgiving Billy would ever see. Now, Billy didn't just manage that tire shop. He hired people, gave folks opportunities. One of those people was a 21-year-old named Marlon Lawrence. Billy brought him on as a tire technician, trained him, put him to work, trusted him. Billy was the type to give you a shot, especially if you needed one. That's just who he was. His daughter, Tinaya Richardson, she was doing good too. She'd just gotten her degree, landed a healthcare job, got herself a new car. Billy was there for all of it, cheering her on. But Tinaya was going through something heavy. She'd recently miscarried her first baby. Nobody really knew about the pregnancy because she lost it so early. And Billy? He was right there with her in the hospital, holding her down when she was bleeding out, telling her, this is all a part of God's plan. That's the kind of father Billy was, present, supportive, the kind of man who made sure his kids knew he had their back, no matter what. Monday, December the 2nd, 2025. Early morning, James Luck spoke to Billy on the phone. They chopped it up like they always did. Nothing seemed off. Nothing seemed wrong. Billy was just being Billy. Before they hung up, Billy told him what he always told him. Be safe out there, bro. That was his thing. Every time they talked, that's how Billy ended the conversation. Be safe out there, bro. James didn't think much of it at the time. It was just Billy looking out, like he always did. But later that day, around 1:45 in the afternoon, James swung by the tire shop, and what he saw, he couldn't even process it at first. Crime scene tape, police cars everywhere. The shop was closed. A sign on the door. "Sorry for the inconvenience. Our store is currently closed." James stood there, confused. He'd just talked to Billy that morning. Everything was normal. But now the whole block was shut down. Nearby businesses had snapped photos of the chaos. Police flooding the property. Investigators combing through the scene. Something terrible had happened. James just didn't know what yet. And then he found out. Billy Brightman, his friend of 20 years, the man who always told him to be safe, was dead. Shot. At work. By someone he trusted. Monday afternoon, December 1st, 2025. The Rent-A-Tire shop on Camp Wisdom Road. Billy Brightman is doing what he's done for 25 years, managing the shop, working the front counter, keeping things running smooth. Marlon Lawrence, the 21-year-old tire technician Billy hired, is there too. It's a regular work day. Nothing out of the ordinary. Right before everything went down, Billy had given Marlon instructions, work instructions, the kind of thing a manager tells an employee every single day. Nothing disrespectful, nothing unusual, just Billy being a boss, telling Marlon what needed to be done. That's it. But something shifted. Marlon didn't follow those instructions. He didn't argue with Billy. He didn't storm off. He didn't quit. He did something nobody could have predicted. He made a decision that would destroy lives, shatter a family, and leave an entire community asking the same question. Why? Surveillance cameras inside the tire shop captured everything. Every single moment. Billy is standing at the front counter doing his job. He's focused. He's working. He has no idea what's about to happen. Marlon Lawrence approaches from behind, quietly, deliberately. Billy doesn't see him coming, and then Marlon pulls out a gun and shoots Billy in the back. One shot. Billy drops, but Marlon doesn't stop. He walks closer and shoots Billy again, this time in the face, point blank. Billy Brightman collapses, blood everywhere. The man who spent 25 years managing that shop, who hired Marlon, who gave him a chance, is lying on the floor, fighting for his life. And Marlon, he walks out, puts the gun in his vehicle parked outside, and leaves. Emergency services rushed Billy to the hospital. Doctors did everything they could, but the damage was too severe. Billy Brightman was pronounced dead, 42 years old, gone, just like that. Dallas police responded to the scene fast. By the time they arrived, the shop was a crime scene. Witnesses were shaken. Employees were in shock. Nobody understood what just happened. Billy was loved. Marlon was just a young employee. There was no history of conflict, no known beef, nothing that explained this level of violence. But the surveillance footage didn't lie. It showed exactly what happened. Marlon Lawrence walking up behind Billy. The first shot to the back, the second shot to the face. Cold, calculated, brutal. Detectives immediately started searching for Marlon. They pulled records. They tracked his movements. And it didn't take long. Marlon Lawrence was located and brought into Dallas Police Headquarters for questioning. And here's the thing. Marlon didn't run. He didn't deny it. When investigators sat him down and asked him what happened, Marlon admitted everything. He confessed. He told them he shot Billy Brightman. He told them where the gun was, in his vehicle, right outside the shop, exactly where he left it after the shooting. The detectives recovered the weapon. They had the surveillance video. They had Marlon's confession. The case was airtight. But the one thing they didn't have, a motive. Marlon never explained why he did it. He admitted to pulling the trigger, but he didn't give them a reason. And that's what haunted everyone. Why would a 21-year-old employee shoot and kill the man who gave him a job? Make it make sense.
Rent-A-Tire off Camp Wisdom Road in Dallas sat quiet on Tuesday. A sign outside for customers, "Sorry for the inconvenience, our store is currently closed." But Monday afternoon, it was chaos. These photos of police on the property snapped by nearby businesses. Dallas police say the manager of the tire shop, 42-year-old Billy Brightman, also known as BJ, was murdered by one of his employees, 21-year-old Marlon Lawrence.
It had to be almost 1:45, 1:50, and that's when I started seeing the crime scene.
James Luck, a friend of 20 years, had actually spoken to Brightman early Monday morning. He swung by the shop that afternoon and confusion set in. Luck later learned Brightman died at the hospital, describing him as a motivated, selfless family man.
Just unbelievable, just for it to actually roll out the way it did.
Surveillance video, according to police, showed Brightman working the front counter. Dallas detectives say Lawrence, a tire technician, approached Brightman from behind and shot him in the back and then again in the face. Arrest paperwork Fox 4 obtained on Tuesday doesn't reveal why Lawrence allegedly opened fire.
He always tell me, be safe out there. That's the only thing he always would project to me, be safe out there, bro. Be safe out there, bro.
Luck, teary-eyed, thinking about the parting words Brightman would always say to him.
Now, just thinking of him always telling me that, it's just kind of bothers me now.
Marlon Lawrence was arrested and booked into the Dallas County Jail. He was charged with murder. No bond. No excuses. The evidence was overwhelming. Surveillance footage. A confession. The murder weapon recovered from his car. There was no wiggle room. Marlon was caught, and he was going to face the consequences. But for Billy's family, that arrest didn't bring relief. It didn't bring closure. Because Billy was still gone, and no amount of justice was going to bring him back. When news broke that Billy Brightman had been murdered, the community was in shock. Oak Cliff, Redbird. The whole neighborhood felt it. This wasn't some random act of violence. This was a man everybody knew, a man everybody loved, shot down at his own job by someone he trusted. James Luck, Billy's friend of 20 years, couldn't wrap his head around it. He'd spoken to Billy that morning. Everything was normal. Billy told him what he always told him.
That's the only thing he always would project to me, be safe out there, bro. Be safe out there, bro.
And then hours later, Billy was gone. James stood outside that crime scene, tears in his eyes, trying to process what just happened. He kept thinking about those parting words. Be safe out there, bro. Billy said it every single time they talked. And now those words meant everything. It's just kind of bothers me now, James said. Because Billy was always looking out for other people, always making sure everyone around him was safe. But who? For Billy's mother, Cynthia Willis, the pain was unbearable. She lost her firstborn, her mama's boy, the son who made her proud every single day for 42 years. Cynthia talked about Billy with so much love, so much pride.
But to Cynthia Willis,
That's my firstborn.
a mama's boy.
I always gonna have memories of my son, because that's my son. That's my boy.
On Thursday before the shooting, Cynthia and Billy talked on the phone. They laughed. They caught up. Everything was normal. And then Monday came.
Us on Thursday, we talked like we was talking. And then for him to be gone on Monday, yes, I'm hurt.
She kept asking the same question over and over. Why, young man, why? She wanted answers. She wanted to understand how someone Billy hired, someone he gave a chance to, could do this to him. For him to do him like that. Why, young man, why? But Marlon Lawrence never gave her that answer. And that's what made it even harder. Cynthia knew Billy was loved. She knew he treated people right.
But everybody loved BJ, because he was just BJ.
But that love didn't protect him. That kindness didn't save him. And now Cynthia was left holding on to memories, trying to make sense of something that will never make sense.
You know, I don't know what else I can do. Praying ain't gonna bring him back, and I know that. But praying make me a little bit stronger of what I am.
And it's that strength combined with the memories.
He's my legend. He'll live on in my heart till God call me on.
That shows the deepest gratitude, love.
So I thank God for I had him 42 years. And I'm just grateful I had him that long.
Billy's daughter, Tinaya Richardson, was dealing with grief on top of grief. She'd just lost her first baby to a miscarriage. Nobody really knew about the pregnancy because it happened so early. But Billy knew, and he was there. When Tinaya was bleeding out in the hospital, scared and hurting, Billy was right by her side. He held her hand. He comforted her. He told her, "This is all a part of God's plan." Tinaya leaned on those words. She leaned on her father. And just when she was starting to heal from losing her baby, she lost her daddy too. In a Facebook post, Tinaya poured her heart out. "Nobody knew about this pregnancy because I miscarried my first baby ever. But I'm hurting about everything at one time. My baby gone forever. My daddy gone forever. Life ain't fair. I hate it here. But my daddy was there for me when I was bleeding out in the hospital. He was there to tell me how this is all a part of God's plan." She was grieving two losses at once, her baby, her father, and the weight of that, it was crushing her. "I hope you and baby A save me a spot up there," she wrote, because in her mind, they were together now, her child and her daddy, waiting for her. Tinaya tried to hold on to her faith. She really did. "Dear God, I'm trying to keep my faith in you. I know you make no mistakes, but I wish you could undo this one." She wanted her father back. She needed him back. But all she could do was remember the moments they shared. "At least you saw me get that degree I told you I was gonna get, the healthcare job, the new car." Billy was there for every milestone, every achievement, every struggle. And now he was gone. In another post, Tinaya scrolled through old photos of her and her father. "Just going down memory lane, praying you come talk to me," she wrote. She was searching for comfort, searching for answers, searching for anything that would make this hurt a little less. Billy Brightman spent 25 years managing a tire shop in Oak Cliff. He showed up every day. He worked hard. He loved his family. He gave people opportunities. He was the kind of man who told his friends, "Be safe out there, bro." Every single time he talked to them. He was the kind of father who stood by his daughter in the hospital when she lost her baby. He was the kind of son who made his mama proud. And on December 1st, 2025, all of that was taken away by someone he hired, by someone he trusted, by someone he gave a chance to. Marlon Lawrence sits in the Dallas County Jail, charged with murder. He confessed to shooting Billy Brightman, but he never said why, and maybe he never will. Maybe there is no reason that makes sense. Maybe there's no explanation that would ever be good enough. What we're left with is a family in pieces, a mother mourning her firstborn, a daughter grieving her father and her baby at the same time, a wife without her husband, 2 children without their dad, a community without a man who gave so much to the people around him. Billy's last Thanksgiving, he looked at his family and said, "Y'all know how much this means to me." And now that photo, that moment, is all they have. A memory of love, a memory of gratitude, a memory of a man who didn't deserve to die the way he did. Rest in peace, Billy B.J. Brightman. Gone too soon, loved by many, taken by senseless violence, and remembered forever. If this story touched you, hit that like button and subscribe to 12 AM Crimes. We cover the stories that need to be told, the ones about domestic violence, relationship crimes, and the people whose lives were cut short too soon. Drop a comment below sharing your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe out there.